So after some false starts and some serious strategizing last session, your group discovered that the swampy bog you were wading through was in fact covered in on the surface with what turned out to be something flammable. So retreating back out of that, after much thought and discussion, you decided to get Jake to set it on fire, and something that took an incredible 3 times of asking him to set it alight. He Jake spaghettied his rapier onto the surface of the water. It lit into an absolute wall of flame, reaching the ceiling of the cavern, and it burnt out after about a minute. You all slogged through the muddy water that now had a bit of an ash on the surface. Fock with Alia on his back to get to the other side after a near miss for Fockionis with a bear trap and his almost medieval vasectomy, which still makes me giggle when I think about it. Um, and found yourselves facing a group of gnolls, including one wearing a really strangely glowing rope and a bizarre and bizarrely a wizard's hat on its head. Um, the group of gnolls was spaced out and seemed to be laying in wait for you, but all of the noise they'd made as you navigated the cavern gave them away. You knew that they were there. A battle ensued, and despite Fockionis dropping all of his weapons during combat, and
That
Alia
makes sense.
copping quite a few arrows, Zach's spells fizzing out, and an overzealous DM tauntaunting Jake into a gnoll corpse, your group managed to dispose of the gnolls quite handily, including stopping several of them from fleeing into the hole that they'd constructed at the end of the cavern. There are at least 2 or 3 of them that tried to make their way towards that hole, but you including one that got arrow in the eye, as it tried to step over the precipice. Your group then decided to follow Alia, who just strutted straight through into the hole, not really worrying what the rest of you are doing as you're digging through the corpses and picking up loot. She fearlessly stepped through despite being the most injured member of your party, and that's where you are currently finding yourselves. And just I know it's a little bit of extra on top of the recap, but it's stuff that I left off from last session just so that we could start with it. So the new bit of info for you guys. So now that you've entered that tunnel and stepped through, um, you just a quick reminder, you found that you are in actually just let me double check. This is a Jake question. Did you do you still have your sword alight, Jake?
I do not think so.
I didn't think so either, but I just wanted to check. Thank you. We're in agreement. So you've stepped through from darkness into darkness. At some point, the dark vision Jake has will wear off, but I believe it lasts for an hour, and it's only been running for about 20 minutes since that spell was originally cast, and you slogged your way through the mud and into battle. So with everyone except for Alia, you guys can see in the darkness that the tunnel itself is roughly hewn out of the rock. It's in a rectangular shape as opposed to the sort of rough hewn circular ones that you've encountered. This is a much better made tunnel, around 10-foot square. There's strong timber supports that have been used. If you think of like old manual mining tunnels that people would actually descend into, with the well constructed ones with the timber supports to shore up the tunneling, that's what you're into here. Um, there's unlit torches spaced at regular intervals of around 10 feet, stretching off into the distance for those of you that can see it. Um, and there's one that's right next to you guys, and you can see that like this requires no rolls. It's like right there in front of you that at some point it has been lit and then doused, so the flame put out at some point. Um, the tunnel itself is around a 10-foot by 10-foot square. That's height the whole lot. So um, thinking of that stretching away in front of you. And it seems that they've gone for that kind of shape to enable the timber bracing, which wouldn't work in the circular tunnels that were kind of rough hewn and blown out of the side of the shop that you came into here from. Uh, and finally, second last thing, beside where you're standing, very clear to everyone except Alia, who's almost stood on it. There's a rusty, damaged, broken version of that trap that almost got Fockionis's nads. it's broken beyond repair. Even in the darkness with your dark vision, you can see discoloration that appears to be quite rusty, and it seems to have just been tossed and discarded to the side of the entry, that particular trap. And it's currently pitch black. So everyone except Ali, you're looking in monochrome. And finally, ahead of you in the darkness or in the monochrome light, around 30 feet ahead on the left, you can see a much smaller tunnel branching off this main thoroughfare that's very well constructed. So with all of that ahead of you, and there is no map for this little journey you found yourselves in. Thanks for the sub, Dante. What would you guys like to do now?
Oh, wish that the text
Smack
chat was on
myself in the
screen.
face.
Sorry, say that again.
Wish that the text chat that we can all see and are using was on stream.
Oh dear Lord. Yeah, that belongs in Twitch chat. Feel free to share that with the world. I'm not reading it out. If you want to keep it private, but that's fucking hilarious.
Oh man.
In summary, yes, there are 2 shafts.
Hang on, let's see if I
And
can
that's
copy and paste.
That's where I'm gonna leave it.
That's fucking
Oh,
handy.
check with the people who have written that
Oh,
they
you
are happy
can't
for it
do
to be
it.
shared. Yeah, check that they're happy for it to be shared. Don't
No, I'm
they've
not
chosen
Fine, I'll put it in Discord.
they've chosen to put it in the
Put that in
I
Discord for
chose
sure.
poorly.
Look.
So you're all essentially you've stepped through. Alia confidently from darkness,
Yeah.
from darkness into darkness, just strutted your way down from. You did have light from the sword, but Jake did spaghetti that flame off at the end of the battle. So you just have walked into a.
But I have very good
dark
hearing,
spot.
so it's okay.
Can I inquire as to the gradient of
Echo
the
location.
shaft? Is it level? Is it
Yeah, for you at the moment, at
to
least
the
through
left?
till
Right.
the second shaft that you can see, it seems quite flat.
Wow.
Seems flat.
It seems flat. There's a there's a slight curve to the left as it gets closer to the second shaft, but it appears to be designed that way.
If the title isn't a shafting good time, I'm gonna be very pissed off.
So, well, let's go down the tunnel.
I was gonna say you
Yeah,
better word that right.
Let's work down the pathway made of removed ground.
The hole.
Yep, so
Oh,
No,
no.
what are you doing? We just dug
so
away.
what's your marching order? Because at the moment I'm just gonna rearrange.
We have to roll, or we just
Wait,
sort of...
no, I'm just gonna rearrange where you guys were. So basically, Alia stepped through. Wait, stop moving yourselves around. Alia stepped through. Then there was basically Fokionis, Zachary, and Jake who were coming in after.
Okay.
And I'm just going to get rid of this knoll because it's making it look like Jake's dead, but that was the knoll that you killed right at the entryway. So you're basically in that formation, having just stepped through into the darkness. So the the tunnel is 10 feet across, so you can walk 2 side by side with obviously Alia able to occupy any space. But that's essentially how you have stepped through, and all of you can currently see except Alia, who is apparently very confident that she can hear great. So it's all good. She's going to daredevil this shit.
He's on my shoulders still, yeah?
No, she had to jump off for the battle. You guys were separate. Yeah, you were.
Oh, of course. Yeah, there was a whole battle. There's a whole thing.
Yeah. So I just need to know what you're looking at doing from here as you are heading down towards the next
raccoons
tunnel.
have excellent hearing and are able to detect a wide range of sound.
That's great, Miss Racy, but you're really a reskinned halfling, so don't throw shit at me extra for your character. You're in D&D world.
A reskinned halfling. Is that from an event drop or like? You know?
It was from this sounds like fun. Let's see if Racer will go along with it. And she thought it was
No, of
awesome.
course, of
So
course.
we
Oh,
look
I
that
get
shit up. No, you don't get any. This is a cool idea bonuses with your hearing checks. Nice try though.
Okay.
So are you happy with that order? And what are you
Is there
looking to do?
any
Like, are you just
wind to
walking down
pick up?
towards the next?
Any noise, any wind, anything we can discern that might lead us
Give
to a particular
me
direction?
give me a perception check.
In Foundry or in wherever?
I don't care. Well, wherever you're happy, and just tell me what you get.
Right, I'm gonna roll down the hill.
29.
What am I doing?
Wait, does
Investigation?
that
did you say?
include me?
Perception.
Deception.
Perception.
If you would like to, we've got 2 people currently jumping in. So, if you're going to do
Yeah, I clearly don't have any fucking
one,
idea.
it's just going to affect what you are perceiving. Did you say got a 29 egg?
I lied.
Okay.
You're just like, oh, roll whatever you want. Oh, in that case, I got.
Roll
No,
wherever
this
you
is
want.
this
I don't
is
know
why
anything.
I have to roll in Foundry.
So essentially, Fockianus can be making this check with advantage if someone wants to help him out, or the 2 of
Oh.
you can roll
I'd
separately.
love to re-roll again with
Let's roll
advantage.
separately.
But it looks
Yeah,
like
good. That
Egg's
seems
doing
fair.
All right, so yeah, Fockianus, you notice that it looks like it's either a square or a rectangle, and
Shaped from a strong
the
point.
next one looks like it might be a circle.
What about the arch?
You're barely aware that there is one. Looks like it might be wood. You rolled 4, dude.
Please don't make wooden shaft jokes, Pa. We've only just recovered.
Oh.
From the pole, the greasy poles sliding. Yeah. Anyway,
Slippery slope.
Egg. Zachary notices a little bit more detail. So the timber bracing is clearly for those you might be watching on YouTube after the fact, there was a very funny comment in chat about imagining having a thick shaft that just made us all giggle. So the timber bracing is extremely solid and well made and well formed. And unlike the tunneling you've seen so far, that was quite rough and basically just seemed to do the job, which kind of fit with the limited interaction you have with the gnolls, who seem very stupid. This tunnel is extremely well made. It definitely appears to have been constructed at least partially by hand and like pickaxes, etc. But it's a much smoother, better constructed walkway through the rock. That's not the right word, but it's the best I can do with the shit that's going on in chat at the moment that I shouldn't be looking at. And you also notice that there is quite a bit more humidity in the air in this chamber than there was even just behind you where you stepped through. You don't notice any breezes or anything like that. It seems quite still, but there is quite a bit of humidity you notice.
Makes sense because there aren't a lot of fires in here.
Oh my god. I'm not reading all of these out. Lily, have fun. Carry on making us laugh, but I'm not going to read them all. We're just not going to we're going to be still doing this in 2 hours' time.
Are you
It'll be a
serious?
good night.
They want me to lick it.
So that the first set of timber is around 20 feet away from where you guys are at the moment.
Bet.
All right.
Someone's going to need to tell Alia it's there because no one's made any light yet. So,
Just
My god, look at that thick wood.
Where?
That's a solid post right there.
Oh, that's the way.
Can't see it, guys. What the fuck is
It's
it?
right there. It's a solid, thick, long bit of wood.
it might even be polished. Let's see what we find out when we get closer.
Oh, oh, wow.
I was trying to keep it together. I couldn't.
No.
Well,
Has
this
anybody got a
escalated
light?
quickly.
No. Wow. Oh, Jake's got a sword, yeah? Spaghetti!
And Jake has to say it.
Uh,
Yeah,
If
that
you ask
sword
me
doesn't do
nicely,
anything.
I'll definitely say yes to your pretty face. I can
Jake,
say it for you.
could you say spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
And then, whoosh, so
Get in, meatballs!
Can't
the
believe you
rapier
love my
lights the
sword that
space up.
much.
And Alia, you now have the visibility of everything we described, and everyone else sees it in color. And you are looking at the timber that appears to be a really dark, strong mahogany.
Mahogany. Isn't that a hardwood?
It is a hardwood. It's a very dark hardwood. Okeanos.
Thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, no. I
You're
wasn't sure.
welcome.
Could have been like a Jarrah, or, you know.
Look, it could be an ironwood.
Mm.
You never know.
Mm.
It could be some amazing magical wood. You just only want me to find out.
I shall lick the wood.
All right, so you're heading up the that 20 feet. Is Alia heading off on her own here, or is anyone else coming with up?
Jake will follow
No,
Alia up to the wood.
we'll stay together.
Okay,
Stay
so
together.
Yep.
so is Jake beside Alia having swap spots with Fokionis? I just need to know where you guys are because you can only be at most two across here, or three if Alia kind of jumps onto Fokionis's skirt or some other.
You
No,
can just jump on my
okay,
shot.
yeah, Alia and Jake can be in front. Fucking
All right.
be
That works.
Okay.
You can enjoy looking at my sword from the back.
Okay, so as you head through there, heading up towards the timber bracing,
rogues liked it.
Alia and Jake being 5 foot ahead of Fokionis and Zachary, so happily heading towards Alia, getting ready to a tongue outstretched, getting ready to savor the flavor and see what new insights and knowledge this this next test might bring. Not really paying much attention to what's under your feet. You feel a slight as in the dust and gravel and dirt that was underneath as you're walking through, a pressure, something was slightly ajar, and it descends down into the floor.
There's a
What
crack
I
in the wood.
need is Zach and Fokionis. I need you guys both to make dexterity saving throws, please.
Oh.
Not Jake and Alia.
Oh.
So you're about halfway to the timber bracing. You've moved about 10 feet, so the other two of you are only about 5 feet from the entrance.
11.
Okie dokie. I just realized I need to roll some stuff.
Yeah, can we get a camera on that?
No, I don't have a camera on that.
Come on.
I need my D6s. All right. Oh, shit.
I don't like this. It's another fireball.
Okay. So, Fokionis
Yeah.
and Zach, on either side of you guys, the wall just explodes. From either side. So it's happening behind Alia and Jake. Fokionis, you are just bumbling along. You're doing what Jake said, which was, pay attention and look at the flaming sword that he's holding aloft. So you're doing as you're asked and seeing what all the fuss is about. And you cop the explosion straight in the side
Oh,
from
I
both
wish you said the
sides.
face.
So you take 25 points of bludgeoning damage.
Jesus.
Yep.
No worries.
And that wasn't a natural 20. Zach, you make the save. So you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage, having managed to push yourself forward a bit. Being behind Alia, you see that there's a bit of space that you can kind of stumble forward into, and you manage to avoid the worst of the blast that came out from the from whatever was rigged behind the walls when that pressure panel was stood on. And Alia and Jake, you turn around seeing and hearing this explode behind you, with Fokiona stumbling forward out of the rubble.
The fuck?
That pathway behind you is now partially blocked.
Partially.
Cool.
You say partially.
Partially blocked.
Describe partially.
You would be able to get through one at a time, but you couldn't just race your way through. So you'd essentially be going through one at a time on broken terrain. So you'd lose some of your movement speed going through that, climbing through it.
Gotcha.
All right, a 25
Gonna
off
lead with, like,
bonus.
fucking ow, 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 ow. What the fuck? What was that? Who
Maybe
didn't
you
look
should
for traps?
keep an. Yeah, maybe we should do that
Zach, fucking
instead
didn't
of
you go to the
making
bathroom?
What do you expect was going to happen when you touched it?
The wood?
Yeah, it explodes.
Holy
Mm.
shit, Zach! I didn't realize how late you were. Yeah. What do you do after
Anyone got the
witnessing
background?
that? Yeah, you're halfway towards the that timber bracing at the moment.
Near death. Fucking, I feel like old mate
Yeah,
need
you
a
can-
candle.
You're
Do you
gonna what? Sorry.
Do you need to go back and rest?
Well, probably let's investigate, like, before we step. Like, has the exploding walls revealed anything that is of use to us? Just rubble.
Actually, no. Do an investigation check for me, and if someone else wants to help him, otherwise one other person can assist with that investigation if you'd like to.
I'm gonna
All right.
roll in.
Boop.
I'm going to help.
Yay.
Oh,
So I'm just
was
rolling
a-
a
Hang on,
regular.
the two of them are doing the investigation. So Ali, if you want to do a perception roll,
Alright.
and Jake, you can either jump in and help with that, or you
I'm
you guys
holding
can
the
decide
light
what you're
for
doing.
Alia.
Okay, let's
I'm
call
Pretty
that
sure
with
I just
advantage.
clicked the wrong thing. Did I? No. Oh no. I didn't
Do
click the wrong
it
thing.
a second time and take the highest one, Alia, because Jake's assisting you by holding the rapier up.
Okay.
All right, so look, sniffing around, Ali, you don't really find much other than it was really clear that there was some sort of artificial explosive that wasn't a naturally occurring explosion that went off, but you sort of figured that out from the pad that you stepped on that then made things go boom. Zach, with your investigations, you go through, and especially having those pristine white gloves really helps you out here. And as you work your way through, looking at the cavities and rubbing your fingers together, and what the small remains that is left behind, it looks to you like there was some form of dynamite that was inside that wall that was set off by that pressure pad, and it was on either side.
Set off by a pressure pad. We should keep an eye out for these as we just
Yeah.
go forward.
I'll be late for that one, yeah? Meanwhile, I'm picking bits of my cartilage fucking from my ribs out of the wall. I've got Band-Aid. Editing. Cotton wool. Bandage.
Bandage.
Handkerchief. Anything?
Could rest to get hit points back. But if you have any hit
Is
dice
this a
left,
good
I
place
mean.
to rest, really, though? Maybe? I don't know. What are we...
Well, yeah, in
why
the
are we
last
going...
room would be a pretty good place to rest.
I mean, the
Right.
last place.
Yeah.
Right, but okay.
Let me just go back through the tunnel and rest there.
Okay. I
Okay.
mean, I feel like resting. You look a bit like green around the gills. I don't know.
No, I'm fine.
You're fine. You're fine, says the guy like near death. Anyone else? Thoughts? Oh, he's just
Sorry,
in.
what? I was reading something.
Oh, okay.
What are you reading?
What are we doing? Are we going to stay?
More raccoon facts.
Nah, what's perception and stuff? I actually really wanted to understand that a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't think anyone understands it fully. You see
But you guys want to go back and rest for a little while, or?
Yeah.
I could do with the rest. I'm not going to lie.
Will we get cuddles while resting?
I mean, you know, yeah.
It's
Sure.
a cold cave, I'm just saying.
We should light a fire. There's all this wood around.
Oh my gosh, fire! Waves the
Maybe
sword
if you-
around.
Maybe if you rub two sticks together.
Yeah, I'll go back and rest if
Okay,
needed.
let's go back and rest. So, just to be clear, we're crawling one by one through the cavey bit that's no good, or the busted
Your
cave.
other alternative is, Phocionis, you at least have a passive enough strength that you, just with a couple of minutes, even with your injuries, you can clear away that debris if you would like to keep it to a 10-foot tunnel, or you can all just climb through single file. That's up to you.
Thoughts, people? Egg's gone to sleep. He's meditating. Happy to move
Just leave
stuff.
it as is. I'm happy
Leave
to
it as
crawl
is.
through.
Right, let's crawl through. We're crawling through.
All right. So with Phocionis
roll?
leaving ample blood smears on the roof as he works his way through it. Yeah. I'm not going to move you on the map. So you found yourself back in wherever you want to be in the Knoll Cavern. You can be on that flat surface where you had the last fight. You can head back through the swamp if you want. You just need to let me know if you're going to do that.
No, we're just back to the first opening, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So back to where the Drake is just sitting there.
Sure.
Hasn't received any further instructions. I'm going to get rid of this loot because you guys grabbed all of that. So Alia's Drake's just sitting there, curled up, half asleep itself. Kind of looks up as you guys come in, and then goes back to sleep. Are you short resting or long resting?
Sure.
Short rest, yeah.
Rest. Okay.
Short rest. May we select short rest?
Yeah. So do your short rest. Most of you have still got quite a few hit dice, so decide how many of those you want to use depending on how injured you are. Let me know when you're done so that I can sync you back up.
Oh my god, I was like, who the hell is Jake Rodriguez?
What do you mean?
Thanks, Lily.
Fuck my life.
Maybe you just need me to rewrite it as Flaming Sword Guy.
Probably.
The Nollipop maker.
2d10s plus 2.
We have to automatically apply healing with dice result or reset maximum HP during this rest. What's the go there? I'll just roll. Take that.
9 health.
Yeah, you shouldn't be resetting to full. That'll normally
No,
happen
just
during
did
a long
maximum
rest.
HP changes. I don't know what that means, but
You're
Uh,
doing it on D&D
yeah,
Beyond,
so-
right?
yeah.
So when you do a short rest and you click for one of your hit dice, underneath it, it'll come up with like the 1d8 or 1d10 plus 2. And if you click it, it'll automatically roll it. And then you just hit the take short rest so that
I'll
it
do
can
that.
log it.
Did it roll? It didn't roll. Do I have to roll the dice manually or?
I
It
do,
should
'cause
just
half the
roll
time it
them
doesn't
after
tick.
you click it.
Yeah, cool.
It does for mine. But if it doesn't, you can just roll it yourself and add it on.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
And just check you don't have any ad blockers on because some of that does screw with.
Plus 4. I rolled a fucking 1. You
Seriously, it affects you. All right.
Oh,
So Zachary, Alia, are you guys done? Can I sync you up?
I get another short rest.
I think. Hang on. Do I get spell slots back after a short rest? I can't remember. Or is it a
Oh yeah,
long rest?
does anything else reset? No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think you get any back after a short rest.
29 it is.
I think wizards can if they have an arcane recovery.
Warlocks also can.
Warlocks can.
Okay. So it has
Which is
to be
one
a
of you
long
guys.
rest to get those back. No, that's cool. I couldn't remember.
All right. So are you done with Alia?
Yeah.
Racer? Yep. All right. Putting you. Are you done with Zach? Egg?
Yeah.
Right. All right. And Fokionis, you're done.
Apparently.
You had a couple of
Like-
weeks of bad results, and you can't blame it on Foundry this time because you did it in
No.
D&D the other
I know. I went, you found out I'm going to do beyond it. Went, no.
your digital. All right. So you've taken that short rest. I believe Fokionis did promise Jake some spooning to help aid in recovery and sharing of body and rapier warmth.
I can say my sword is very hot.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
The innuendo is strong with this one.
High five for the Tard.
Yeah, that's led to Alia needing a drink.
Wow. That's amazing.
You all right, Egg?
Nah, he's broken. Pretty sure he's broken.
Tired.
Just tired of this group, he says. Tired of writing innocuous things in chat that turn into a whole fucking saga.
All right, we got Alia back. I'll let Racer get her headphones on before you make your next call, so that she can actually have input and hear what's going on.
Oh, I can
Alright.
hear you guys.
Oh, good. So what do you guys want to do next?
Call back
we-
through the hole.
Yeah, well, do we need to go through this hole? I mean, this is an above.
We got the gem. We could go back.
Like,
The lady would be happy, I guess.
we just turn the quest in, or no?
Yeah.
Or do we have to forge on? I mean, you know,
I don't know.
you don't know.
Maybe we could move forward. We just need to keep an eye out for traps a bit.
Right. That's fair. That seems fair.
Like, I don't know. I thought we'd get.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
But this time with extreme actual looking.
Yeah.
Or should we go the opposite way? Because there was two directions in the secondary.
No, we
Well,
didn't
why
get
did
that
they
far.
try and
We
run
just
for this
moving.
hole? Where were they going?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
What if there's more of them? Have we considered that? It was warmer. Are we going to the center of the earth? Will we find the rock and two kids?
That's which man. You're a racer.
Right, let's go. Come on.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Alright, call through hole, roll perception. Or
Are
investigation.
you?
Yeah.
If you would like to do one of each,
It won't matter.
as long as you don't have all four of you rolling the exact same, so you can do 2 of your perception, 2 intelligence, or 1 of each, and then a supporting.
It'd be better if someone like assists me so I get advantage. Because
Do you think you'll
Does that
roll
work?
better though?
No,
plus
not me.
7, so yeah.
He's pretty fucking smart.
If you want
I'll
advantage,
assist.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't mind assisting because my perception's bad.
All right,
Mine's
so
11, so-
someone's assisting Egg with intelligence. Is anyone trying to use perception? 'Cause Eggs are actively
Oh.
investigating and looking for like traps based on what he'd seen in the.
Okay, I'll
The
do
hollow and the
perception check
explosive?
if someone wants to assist.
I'm pretty much good for nothing at this point based on my rolls. And if anyone wants some negative modifiers, then I'm your guy.
Woo, negative gang.
Yeah.
All right, so Fokionis is giving advantage to Alia on the perception checks. We've got a
Apparently.
21
Anytime I
intelligence.
don't roll, that's a fucking advantage for the group, pretty much.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Apparently not.
You guys all saw it land on the 18 and then go, no.
All right, so as you go through and you
Motherfucker.
clamber over the rocks, you can't see a lot further than what you did before, Egg, with your when you're specifically looking in and around the where you are, and you found out it's a little bit more humid than what it was where you came from. You've thoroughly investigated the hollows. What I'll give you with your 21 is that in the radius of where you're currently looking up to and including the next offshoot shaft that is coming off this main tunnel. I can't say that word without giggling now after the start of this session. You are really confident that there aren't any more traps. And with that 21, you're also, just with a little bit of extra info you glean from now looking at the rubble that was left in place rather than being cleared away, you're pretty confident that rather than this wasn't so much a trap as potentially something that was put there for the knolls to collapse behind them as they ran off, seeing as how the explosive happened behind the pressure pad from your direction of travel with your 21.
Oh, it was to aid their
Yeah.
getaway, you say?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Is it?
It's elementary.
Of course.
So it appears safe right up to the timber
it-
supports, past
right.
them to the next tunnel
Alright, we
that
go
shoots off to the left. It seems safe, clear, and you're very confident that
Let's go
there's
up
no
there
further
then.
surprises.
All right, let's move. Yes, we need
And
to.
Alia, you're now really confident that the supports that are holding the walls up, even though you're not quite up to them yet, you're really confident that they're timber, they're not metal. With your 9,
Would you say that they're spruce? Maybe.
no, not with a 9. No.
Hickory,
Pine?
birch.
Is she going to start singing "I'm a Lumberjack" shortly, or is that where we're heading with this?
Hi ho,
All
hi
right.
ho, it's
So-
up to lick the shaft I go.
All right, so Jake and Ali are leading the way. You've got to pass by the timber supporting struts to get to the next tunnel that you're all heading towards. As you guys reach them first, what would you like to do? One on either side. So there's a piece of timber on each side, and then a strut at the top. All right, Ali is going to lick the timber and just see what she can discern. I know perception's your higher one, so you can do intelligence if you want to investigate it, but if you're licking it, that's really perception.
If Ali is licking it, can Jake also lick it? Because obviously there must be something to do with licking things if Ali is licking things.
Of course, Jake can. So
Must be
give me
sweet
your
berry then,
perception
Norman.
rolls as you both extend your tongues. Just a straight roll, no advantages. All right. Alia 14, yep,
18.
and an 18. Okay, so Ali, with your 14, as you're reach out with your tongue to lick the timber supports, you notice that it is really well made timber. It is in fact polished. There's no splinters and there's no roughness to that surface. It has been very well milled and put together, and it is a very it is a very hard wood. What I was trying to say with a straight face. Jake, you notice a little bit, all of those things as well as you and Ali are comparing notes, and you also notice that it seems that timber has been freshly shaped for this purpose. Noticing that there's just a slight hint of sap still on the timber, that it has been freshly milled into shape and put to purpose. It hasn't been sitting around, idle or aging.
Well used wood is what you're saying.
Sticky
It's
hardwood.
fresh wood. It's exactly. Lily got it.
Oh, so good.
It's well polished, sticky hardwood that is
No.
quite fresh.
It's terrible.
in summary
Amazing.
between the two of your licking checks.
Oh god.
Guys, you should taste this
Fabulous.
wood. It's like sticky
Oh,
and fresh.
no, I'm good, thanks.
It's kind of refreshing though.
Might give it a miss. Oh,
All the shit I thought you guys might fixate on, the timber struts that are holding up the mine shaft, is not where I thought you would get fucking
No?
focused. Anyway, I mean, what was I thinking?
I mean, come on.
Heaven forbid I should add some flavor to the description and have timber support struts.
Uh, ugh.
Oh my god. All right. So are you all proceeding through? Is anyone else having a lick of the wood on the way through? Or
Come on, do it.
Thank you.
I'm
Do
I'll
it.
leave that one alone.
all right. So you safely head your way up to the next tunnel. That when you get there, very clear, no rolls needed. It's that same kind of around 8 to 10 foot circular rough
Fucking hell, 10-foot pole.
rough hole that has been exploded. No supports. It's just been carved out, very rough hewn. There's no debris in there, but it's a much less, nowhere near as well constructed as the main thoroughfare that you were on. No timber, no struts. But you can see that it doesn't extend too far. It extends about 20 feet from that entrance and then terminates.
Terminate.
So you can see that it ends, but just because of the narrowness of it, you can't really see what's at the end of the offshoot to the main tunnel. But you can see that it doesn't extend any further.
So there's an end.
But
There
there's
is.
nothing at the end we can't see.
But there's a thing at the end you can't see.
You can just see that it has ended. All you can basically see is the end wall. You can't see like the roof down the end of that tunnel. And Fokianus, I'll give you this just because of your shit rolls. You notice that it does have a slight upward gradient to that tunnel.
Oh, I like it. Thank you.
And actually, can I get, and I'll get all of you to do this, can I get all of you just to roll a perception check for me? Just while you're standing at the entrance of that tunnel.
A perception check.
Oh, finally.
Holy shit.
I don't know where to roll at this stage. It doesn't really matter. So
Yeah, raccoons do have good hearing, Alia. So that was a nat 20 from Alia. 18, holy fuck.
that rolls in double
5 from
figures.
Zach and Lily. What did Jake roll?
17 over on D&D Beyond.
Okay. So Zachary, you're quite oblivious. You're in fact like looking around. You're still conscious of the fact that there might be traps around, and you are in fact reasonably certain that for no other reason than a gut instinct that there's got to be more traps in this tunnel, and you want to make sure that you're keeping your feelings out for them, not just using your brains, but also using the gut checks that others seem to be using to greater or lesser extent. And you're just confident there's more traps. Your gut is telling you the same as your brain. For Fokionis and Jake, you guys hear coming down that tunnel, like just even though that you can clearly see that the tunnel is finite and it ends and it's well lit by the rapier. There is nothing hiding there. You can definitely hear some faint voices, not whispered voices, but you can faintly hear voices. Alia, you can clearly hear with your extremely sensitive raccoon hearing that I poo-pooed not that long ago. You can definitely hear that there are, and your ears perk up, you can definitely hear that there are persons or people. You're not sure exactly how many. It seems like at least 2, but they're talking about money and gemstones. You can definitely hear that much of the there's definitely a conversation happening
Boy.
that is filtering down that tunnel.
I'm going to relay that information to the everybody else.
Seems like
Yeah.
something that's checking out.
Well, I think so.
Go there.
What if they took more of the old lady stuff? That's not
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we should get it back for her.
Yeah. She might give us 2 biscuits and a cup of tea.
Mm.
All right. So what are you guys going to do with that info?
We are going to forge on and act on it in a very very positive manner. There we go.
Yep.
Don't
Doesn't tell
you
me.
make decisions.
That was very political. That was telling me everything was by telling me nothing.
Look, and furthermore,
You're currently in the main thoroughfare. No one has yet stepped into that tunnel. So is anyone going to? What would you guys like to do?
I suppose I'll go first again, will I, or not?
Absolutely.
Oh, thanks. Good idea.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yep, so with this one, with a squeeze, you can get 2 across. I mean, Alia can duck in and around everybody. You'd be more comfortable walking single file, but you can get through 2 across. But Fokionis heads in first, trepidatiously just waiting for the walls to close in. But despite your stress levels, and you're almost losing health from not breathing, Fokionis, you make it to the end of that tunnel without any kind of incident or injury. And the rest of you follow along quite happily. And those voices get louder as you get towards the end of the tunnel. Are you guys trying to be like stealthy at it or anything like that, or are you just happily walking along? I just
I'm
need to
going to
know
be
how you're moving.
stealthy.
At the risk of inviting another calamitous episode into this, yes, of course. The large, semi-damaged, fucking green guy is trying to be quiet when he has.
Do you have a spell pass without trace yet, Miss Risa?
What?
Just this spell helps
Pass
us
without
walking
trace.
around.
No, she doesn't.
Alright.
But I
All
have
right,
a
so
pretty
can you
good
all-
dexterity score, so.
Can you all
It just
roll stealth
helps with
checks?
everyone else's though.
Are we rolling?
A stealth, please.
Stealth.
So you'll see it. You'll see
That's
it in
hilarious.
your It's a dex one
Plus 2 on that. No shit.
in either Foundry or D&D Beyond.
That happened.
11.
What have we got?
That's
11,
super stealthy.
11, 9, and what was Jake?
Sorry, what was that one? I was reading something in the
Stealth.
Twitch chat.
Stealth,
I did that
stealth
too.
check, please.
Oh yeah, I like my stealth checks. How does 22 sound?
22 sounds like the rest of your group will really appreciate it after some of their rolls. All right, so despite a couple of little hiccups and trips along the way, especially with Alia and her super confidence. Sorry, do you still have the rapier lit as well as you're coming down into this?
Probably not, due to the
That'd
fact
be
that we
heaps
were
stealthy.
sleeping earlier.
All right, so dousing spaghetti as you
You
enter
didn't take a
in.
short rest with a lit rapier.
No, he was
I
leaving
was
it lit.
busy-
Oh, he was leaving it lit. Sorry, Lily.
It was not lit because he was too busy getting cuddles off of Fok.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Promised that the rapier would keep everyone warm and then
it
turn the
was a
rapier
hot
off.
sword, yeah.
Yeah, because that way he'd be more likely to get cuddles.
True.
It was very well played. So as you're going through, Alia, you're back in the dark, and even your confidence of all the hearing and taste and smell and all those other things, you still stumble a little bit before finally just reaching out and grabbing onto the back of Fokionis's skirt, although he'll probably tell you it's something much more warlike that helps guide you along. But for the moment, your group makes it to the end of that tunnel, apparently without alarm from any of the voices that you're hearing. You hear those conversations get louder as you get closer, and what you're hearing underneath you is what you are underneath and hearing is a conversation that is essentially going along the lines of it appears that there is someone looking to buy gems or jewelry, and they are having a conversation back and forth about the relative merit and value of a couple of gems that what sounds from the way you're talking sounds like a shop owner is talking about one end of that conversation, and then there is someone else up there attempting to haggle a better price, but they don't seem to be getting too far or really know too much of what they're talking about.
Do we recognize any of those voices?
Give me a perception check.
No.
And if anyone would like to have a look around, feel free to give me an investigation if you would like to look at the end of the tunnel, just to do both at once if anyone would like to.
18.
Oh, Fokionis is coming through. Fokionis, you don't actually recognize either of the voices, but you do pick out that one is the buyer definitely has a gravelly male voice, and the seller is definitely female. You guys haven't actually been into this shop yet, so you haven't come across those voices at all. What you do notice, however, and Zachary, you pick up on this while you're looking around. While others are paying attention to the voices, you're actually paying attention to your surroundings. You guys notice that it's a little bit hard to make out with your monochromatic vision, but directly above you guys, you can see that you're essentially looking at timber floorboards. There's very small gaps in it, so you can't really see through. And where you can see through, it's only a little bit of light, and you're kind of seeing a little bit of a cabinet or maybe the reflection of a gem. You can't actually see any faces, but what you can see is a big red X appearing to be painted on the bottom of the floor there, on the underside of those floorboards. That has been
We're
marked with a
looking
big red
at the
X.
floorboards, but like above us.
Yep, so directly above you, that's where the floorboards are of. So the tunnel terminates, and that's the rocks. But directly above you is where the voices are coming from, and directly above you, in
I thought
a
the
cleared
voices was at
space
the
that
end of the
has
shop.
exposed the floorboards of, with your 2 18s, you are both very confident that that is the Starry Night Jewelers. And I'll actually give you egg with your 18 for the intelligence that this actually twigs something with you, that you definitely remembered seeing a red X on that weird map you picked up back at the Knoll Hollow a couple of hours ago. It had a strange sort of similarity to the world above, and there were like weird markings on it, and you definitely remember seeing an X or more than one X on that map.
What do we do? Clearly, the Knolls were trying to make their way to the spot.
Are they,
I feel like if we were to,
Rise, motherfucker.
are they gonna rob from this store as well?
I feel like if we were to Kool-Aid Man this, it might not go down the way we think it will.
Can I just check, are you guys having this conversation? I know you're stealth, so you're attempting to be stealthy, but you're
No,
having that
I'm totally-
conversation
we're
directly under.
whispering, but-
Yep. Okay. Yep. Carry on. Don't actually whisper, but I just wanted to know
Okay.
where you were having the convo. That was it.
No, we're using hand signals.
Except only one of you knows thieves can't, or any way to do that. So Jake might be doing that, but the rest of you got no idea.
Jake over here doing elaborate hand signals that
Yeah.
just look so stupid to everyone else.
What the fuck? Oh, so good. All right, what do we do? What do we do?
Get out.
Which way?
Up.
Through the floorboards.
Go
Do we
back.
knock?
Up and away.
Go back. No, you
Go back.
don't want to break into this shop. That would be bad.
That would be bad, but we definitely need to tell them that.
Unless they're doing the stealing for them.
No,
Oh,
the X is on this
inside
side.
job,
So
you reckon?
they're gonna dig through from this side. That's
Right, yeah, I agree with Egg. I don't think we should burst through the floorboards. Just saying. Can we knock? Oh, excuse me. Do you know there's a tunnel under here?
I feel like that would be very polite. The
Yeah,
right thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we should do that.
Should we do that? At the risk
Sure,
of
why not?
suggesting bad ideas, should half of us stay here and half of us go back? That always ends well when we split the party.
Yeah. Like this song.
No? Yes? We're
We should-
leaving? No, I don't think
Yeah,
we
let's
should.
go.
Let's all go. I've had enough of this shaft. One
Not
might
your
say
thing,
it's
not your kind.
more
Sure.
shaft than I can handle.
So, just to let you know, in case it got missed in the conversation, the large. I'm actually looking at the meme this time. The large supported structure. It headed off in the distance past this little offshoot, so that 10-foot square
Why me?
thoroughfare. It continues extending past what appears to be this offshoot that has been dug under Starry Night Jewelers. So it does continue off into the darkness. There is this offshoot tunnel, and there is the way back now as well. So the tunnel you set out to explore continues around a little bit of a curve ahead of you guys, and you're in the little offshoot at the moment.
We're in the offshoot. But the offshoot's the dead
so
end with
you-
the roof above us, though.
So the main tunnel continues. Think of it
I-
as like the main tunnel continues straight ahead. You
Yeah.
ducked off to the left,
Yeah.
about 20 feet down a really rough, much smaller tunnel. The main 10-foot square tunnel continues, well, now for you guys in either direction. When you exit this tunnel, you can keep heading towards the unknown, or you can head back the way you can.
Yeah.
Did you say that you had a map that you picked up before?
Yeah.
Would
And one of the
there
X's
any
is
other,
under
you know, rather
Starry
semi-obvious
Night
things on the
Jewels.
map? Like crosses?
Yeah, there's heaps of crosses.
What the shit?
So would you like to take a moment I mean, at the moment it's in the darkness / dark vision, but do you want to, are you still underneath the shop at this point?
No, we've gone back to the main tunnel.
Okay.
We'll I cast light on my dagger and like, use like going, oh, if that X is Starry Night Jewelers, then like where all the other X's are.
All right. So seeing as how you've now got light to it and you're looking more closely at this map, you can all make, this is an intelligence check as you're looking this over. You all have the option of rolling intelligence to look at it, or two of you can roll with advantage, or you can have one roll with advantage. You guys figure it out, but you are all welcome to get involved with this or not. That's up to you guys. But that map is now laid out. And now that Egg has it fully out, it's quite large. Like it's around beach towel sized. It's a big piece of it looks like it's probably on a bit of hide, but it's very well made and it's marked in bold colors. I need to
I
know your
will
rolls
help.
before I can
So just a flat intelligence check.
investigation.
Investigation.
Yeah,
Alright.
all of you. It'll be an investigation.
Jake will give advantage to Zach instead.
Okay.
Alright. Sweet.
Yeah.
I'll
so
give
Zach's got a
advantage
21.
to Fuck if he wants to roll.
No. I'll give you advantage because mine's a minus.
Fucking Alia arguing over who's no, you're smarter.
Just
Smarter.
each of you roll. Oh.
Wait, what's the third one? Who did
But that
she
won't
got a
help.
one.
It's because Alia has halfling luck, which is why you want to be a halfling, not a raccoon. All right, 21 and 15. Look, between all of you and, essentially Fokionis grabbing the dagger off Zachary and holding up the light, and Jake holding up the light as well. The entire big canvas is well laid out, and with the system map that you guys have, you're able to sort of roughly position it and look at the world above over the top of that map. And with the way you guys did that there, I do have a map to share with you.
What?
So, Please
Just
ignore
have to-
your characters. That's just the last spot you were on the world
Mapped
between.
by Windows 95.
So what you're looking at on this canvas is really simple. It's nowhere near as detailed, the one that you recovered from the Knolls, as the one that you have from the system or from Mort. But when you overlay it and you look at the two of them, especially with that 21, you can clearly see that there are some places that are marked with an O and an X. An O, others that are marked with an X. In Arcanum Wares with the 21, you notice that, there was a big circular hole in the wall of the pantry there, of the storage area underneath. There was a red X painted under Starry Night Jewelers. And then as you look your way around at this sort of meandering shape of the red line that is underneath key buildings, obviously it doesn't look that detailed on the big 6-foot bit of hide you've got, but it makes its way up and around and into the walls of the castle and past where you currently get out of the castle, where you currently have
Get out of town.
it's an impenetrable area that you do not have access to. But this map certainly indicates that the Knolls, or whomever it came from, have charted a pathway that begins inside the castle gates and works its way down the left-hand side of the world between. And it seems to be very careful to avoid the area of the map that the Desperado Club, the Temple, Vanquisher, etc. sit in. It has not gone into those spaces or the safe room.
End of the line.
So it appears to terminate at Arcanum Wares, which is where you guys came in, and it appears to, or one end appears to be under the castle, and the other one appears to be Arcanum Wares.
We're going to the castle, right?
I mean, how did they get into the castle to start with?
I don't know, but I want to get into the castle.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, should we show this to someone or just go to the castle?
Oh, that's involved. No, yeah. Well, should we? I don't know. Is there maybe a small bear with an eye patch that we could seek help from? I don't know.
I know he's pretty dodgy.
But what are we doing? I get a solid vibe that some of the group want to go to the castle or follow the map, if you will. It's a long ass walk.
I'm good with whatever.
It is a long walk.
There's potential for lots more booby traps along the way there.
Ew, traps.
Should we go back and have a long rest and think about it?
Ooh, we could take the map back to Mort, have a long rest.
Ooh, cheeseburgers from Mort.
Yeah. But on the way, go past Nana, get some cake, some bickies and tea, give her gems back, see how happy she is.
That's a good point. We do need to give those back.
We do. And then we can always re-enter the tunnel.
Sure, she wouldn't deny us access.
I mean, we could pretty much enter through the floor of any of these places, I think.
Yes.
Hey, nice shop you got here. Can I dig through the
Just, hello, this is Acme Pest Control. We are here to check under the floorboards. I just have to ask you to step outside. We just put a small tent around your shop. Don't worry. You see a boy on a BMX with a strange thing in a milk crate? It's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty close with Mish, right? She'd probably let us in through hers, and that's real close to the castle.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Mish
that's
has an
good point.
X. She does.
That is like a lot shorter distance to walk. I'm hot for that idea. Right, let's go.
So going back to Mort.
No.
No, this is definitely creeping. What are we doing?
We're gonna give the
we
things
could
back
just-
to the nice lady.
Let's go nice
Yeah.
lady.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Nice lady.
We're not gonna set her stuff on fire.
No. No spaghetti.
No biscuit.
Right, let's go. What do we have
What
to
did,
roll?
what did you end up deciding to do?
Well,
We're
we're going to
going-
quiet the tunnel. and make our way back to, was it Arcanum Wares? That's where we were, was it not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you are heading back. Let me get the right map up. So you're heading back through out the way you came. The path that you know is safe. You're heading back through the mud and muck, etc.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay. So every 15 feet that you travel through that muck, I
Oh,
need
shit.
each of you to roll a d6.
Oh, yeah.
And is Fokionis picking up Alia again?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I got those two
I would've
together.
thought after you set fire to that shit like that, you know. No.
Right, who's going? Give me your order.
5. I'll go first.
All right. And you're doing your full 15 feet?
Yep.
Yeah, Jake just heads on in. No problem at all. There's no issue.
I was following Jake's footsteps.
All right. So you're... Did you say you rolled a 5 as well?
Yeah.
Yep. No problem. Are you carrying Alia again, Fokionis?
Yes.
All right. So I'm just
Is there a
going to
world where we can traverse the wall that is near the first area that Jake set on fire, or not really?
He set the fire at the other end.
Yeah, but
I
you
mean,
know,
you
like,
can...
I can't see the map because you've got this one open. But I recall.
Oh, sorry. I thought I activated.
Yeah,
I
I
apologize.
think that's a solid wall we can't go through.
Well, you know.
Sorry, I do
can't be a
apologize for
front
that. I've
door, but-
activated it now. Thank you for telling me. You look, give me
Yeah.
you can choose perception or investigation.
About where I'm standing.
have a look.
Is there a spot where we could get through there? I'm just curious.
Oh, no, that's a solid that was the end of the part of the cave.
Yeah.
So those walls go floor to ceiling. They're
Yeah,
a part of the
but-
cabin. You want to try and break through the wall
No,
and see
just-
how
I
thick
just,
it
you know,
is?
they're like a little rock that would then all of a sudden cause like a massive hole to form.
If you want to investigate for a
No,
hang on, don't keep moving. Investigate for a
face
weak
is-
spot with Alia on your back. You're welcome to.
I feel like this is a no. So
Jake, stop moving yourself. Or do you have extra movement?
I
Are you
have
30?
extra movement. I can move 20
No,
feet.
Jake
can I not?
doesn't. Jake is moving further away from where they're meant to be. Zach, get out of it.
All right.
All right.
So I'll just.
Jonas, what are you doing?
I'm just moving.
All right.
So
So
fair to say I'm where they are because I moved 20 feet. Yeah.
you can get up beside them, except Zachary is not sharing the same space.
Wait,
Get out of it.
What happened there? What? There
All
we
right. Hey, roll your D6 for me.
go. Oh, that didn't work. Let's
Flip
just
back
do- oh,
pages
damn.
in my book and find the right spot.
Roll 1d6. Roll.
Yep.
4.
Yep. No problem at all, despite your trepidation, because it's near the same spot where you nearly got snipped. Everything seems to be going along okay. So, Jake, are you leading the way again?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Oh, that's a 6.
6, no problem. Jake is going, come on, it's no problem. It's all fine. Fox set off the only trap.
Right. Is there a world where I can take
No,
my...
Jake didn't say that. That's the DM
I
just
follow
saying things.
in Jake's footsteps.
Yep.
Can I take my budget spear and start just like poking the ground to sort of, check that I'm not triggering things with my next step? Or
Yeah, you can do that if you want.
let's do that.
Do that with your spear as you head off with your
Yes.
your 20 feet. So
I need
head
to
yourself
roll
up and give me your
that.
D6.
Oh, dude, what? Come
You
on.
don't need to roll anything.
3.
Yep, you're fine. So confidently that you're poking ahead with the spear and you're digging into the mud, that definitely like this is keeping you safe. No problem. You've got this sorted.
Okay.
So feel free to keep on. You guys can move your own tokens. Head yourselves your 15.
I
Give me your
get to move
rolls.
20, yeah? That's
Yeah, you
just
can do 20. The other
Yeah,
two of you. Yeah.
Just checking.
Another
Whoa,
5.
that dice. Yep. No problem.
All right, I'll move.
It's all looking sweet and easy and fine at the moment.
Am I out there? No.
At the moment, you're not. Nope.
God damn it.
So Zachary, yeah, this will be your last roll, Zach and Fock.
What?
You made it through. Clearly, it must have only been one trap, surely.
Oh, thank
And
God.
Jonas has
You
set it
rolled
up.
like 12 of them. There must have been a 1. Apparently not. Didn't even
Apparently
get a
not.
2.
No, you guys have made up for last week's rolls with this week. You're smashing it. All right, so you're able to move your
beg
way
to
back
differ.
through the cavern. The fires have burnt out. They've long burnt out from the gnoll corpses, and they're cooled just into piles of goop that are no longer even melty. You head back up without issue through the tunnel, and you're back up into Arcanum Wares.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you come up into the cellar, the same place as you exited. So you're basically retracing your steps. You're walking along non-safe passageways. You head back through all the destruction that was in that cellar, back up through the trapdoor, which was just as you'd left it. It was left open, and you come up into the shop itself to see that Glimmer is still where you left her. There is markedly less food on the platter that she'd produced when you guys had left. You have been gone for several hours, and she is just sort of quietly nodding, like doing that nana nod in the chair, and doesn't appear to awake as you guys come up through the tunnel. She's actually no, I'll give it that by the time all four of you come up, she's gonna like, are you back? How are you, dearies? Oh, you look a bit
Stress eating.
sore. Oh,
God,
yes.
I'm very sore. Have you got a band-aid?
And she starts rummaging around and like hands you over just these like tea towels and bits of cloth that she's pulling out from somewhere.
That'll work.
Alia, she's like slid across another platter. There's apparently now full again of food and bickies, and that in amongst all of her other movements has just surreptitiously been restocked, and is just sliding things across, like filling up the counter with throwing Fock anything she can that might be cloth-like, and then everything else is being stocked up on the counter.
I'm fashioning a tourniquet of sorts.
Yep, tying a beautiful
it's a granny.
yellow duck faded tea towel is now tying it off with your teeth across your bicep. I don't know if it's doing too much for the the small amounts of wounds you've got left, but it looks very stylish.
Makes me feel good.
I help Fock putting that on to make sure the duck is in full view.
Absolutely. So now it's gone from
duck.
being like this raggedy, like knotted mess to it's now actually been tied like a beautifully like a bandana, so that the duck is on full display on the outside of his left bicep. It has been tied wonderfully. Don't think like rubber ducky yellow duck.
Oh,
it's almost like a larger version of a kid's washcloth that's been repurposed for your mental state more than anything. And so she's rubbing sleep out of her eyes, lifting the glasses up off her nose, and looking at each of you. She's a little bit concerned. She's a bit worried at the amount of blood. You can pick up on that. A bit worried about you guys, and especially the amount of blood that she can see on your person.
Guess what we found?
Oh, I don't know.
Who's got the stuff?
Knowles.
We did find Knowles, but not anymore.
Yes?
Well, they're kind of just gloop now.
No more Knowles.
Oh, that is good.
I'm sorry, what?
No more Knowles.
Oh, very, very good. Did you happen to find Gregory's Heartstone?
I think we did.
We found this random gem.
He'll be so pleased.
Is this it? I don't know who's got it. I assume that I don't have it.
I thought he got it.
Did I get it? I don't thought Surely our party resident kleptomaniac got it.
No, Alia ditched through the hole. She
Oh.
was the first one who just went through. Because I think two of you were near the corpses. Zach and Fokionis were near the corpses and got to the gear
If
first.
I have
It was
then
one
I
of you
should
two
give
that
it.
has it.
Yeah.
It was the
Okay.
elemental, like it's in your. It was down as an elemental gem, and then of course you have those other unidentified
Thank you for
items.
assuming that I actually wrote it and put it in my inventory.
Right. Well, somebody who's producing it? Is
Let's
it
assume I have
Fokionis?
it and I give it back.
With the replete with the the beautiful duck arm, golden duck armband, and as she's getting, she's like, "Oh, you're such a wonderful boy," and she's patting you on the forearm and gets the gem and unties the rope off it, and you see her. She's sitting up on a stool, and then she sort of hops down off that stool, and she was already quite a diminutive, aged figure, and she just disappears behind the counter, and then this wizened old woman just comes in, no cane or anything like that, but holding the gem in two hands, gets over to where Gregory is, looks around because he was off to the side where you slid him, and then she starts like tugging, struggling with this step ladder that before any of you have a chance to go and help her, just as it looks like you're definitely going to need to help her get it, it pops out, and she gets a balance and unfolds it and climbs up and puts the gemstone into that center chest piece of the golem that's sort of frozen in mid position up against the wall, and the light and color of that gem, which was like that dark orangey color, spreads out in lines across the golem, so it lights up all of these pathways that were previously not really visible, including face, heart, arms, legs. And as it hits all of those points, the golem starts to move and kind of grinds into position and comes back to life, and then gently picks up and holds Glimmer so that she can reach a little bit more easily, and puts the step ladder away, and is just standing there holding position, looking around at the surroundings and the room, and appears to just be quietly alert, and has just picked her up to move the ladder and get her into a safe spot. But Gregory the Golem has apparently come to life. Has been returned to power. The Glimmer's from his arms, like, "Oh, thank you." And she's patting Gregory, like, "Oh, you're a good boy. Those bloody gnolls." But they're all gone now, so you can go and patch up the damage, and you can get onto that in the morning. Gregory's just sort of nodding along. There's no voice or anything coming from the golem. And Glimmer looks over at you guys and points around the store. So, any one item from the store, that was our deal. Have a good look around. I can give you some suggestions. Gregory can help if you can't reach anything. Like, this thing's huge. This is like its head is nearly brushing the roof. You're still not quite sure how it's Gregory the Golem is going to get down into the cellar, or how it had got there in and out in the first place. But
He's a shapeshifter.
mysteries at this point.
So where you guys want?
You can also shop as well, but you have one item that you can receive for your group.
What thing did we want? Was there not some special clothing or something on a stand? I recall.
That was at the smithy.
No. Like you said that there was like some older, I think you said green type thing on a stand behind her.
Oh, there was an item that was a display.
Oh,
It wasn't included, like it was not on the shelves. You could ask about it, but it was
I
kind
remember
of like how Miss showed you her collection of crossbows but wasn't selling them. It was behind that kind of barrier.
I see.
So it's still there. And it was she referred to it as her adventurer robes from back in her day.
Right. Well, I assume that other people may have looked at the list of things for sale already. Would I be right? Does anyone
Only.
see anything?
So Wand of Polymorph looks like the most Handy.
Two,
Well,
7
can't
charges.
Jake craft potions as long as he has the
Stuff.
thingy?
Yes, Jake. Can you
Yes,
craft
I
potions?
technically can.
But what would you need to do something of that nature?
Alchemist supplies and ingredients.
I mean,
But I
Is
will warn you,
we
all
can
of my
get from-
potions taste disgusting.
I mean,
It just tastes like really, really strong coffee.
oh, well, in that case, let's go. I mean, to be fair, we lick walls and poles and shafts and rocks, and so you know.
You can't blame that one on me, smartass.
Right,
I
what
think
will
we should
need
get
to
the alchemist supplies.
Is that
Right.
is that something we can do from here? Alchemist
I
supplies?
will
Are they
state you
there?
guys should actually have alchemist supplies somewhere because there was a set on Ivy.
Oh.
It
Mm.
was.
Did anyone write down all Ivy's stuff?
Yeah,
I
Yes,
wrote it all
no.
down in the
Yeah.
D&D stuff.
It's still in
thought-
Discord.
I thought she dissolved.
When she
So-
dissolved, all of her gear was left, which is where you saw the note from. There was also that note from Mish that was in and amongst all of her stuff. But you have all of her gear.
and
Her body dissolved, but her everything she was wearing and carrying, and her storage space opened up to essentially just be enough of a satchel that let it hold what was in it. It's no longer that dimensional space that stopped anyone else from entering it or reaching into it like it was before.
Good. Right. Well, are we taking
there's the. We should take the wand of polymorph. That'll be very cool.
all right? Who gets to use that? Because that's no good for me.
Just give it to
Then me.
Jake. The one person that doesn't need it.
Let's go.
While you
people.
guys are doing this,
I get
Glimmer
it.
is just like gently doing like that grandma thing of like pull a handkerchief from somewhere and she's spitting and wiping invisible bits of rotten grime off Gregory, who is just stoically standing there immobile while she lets you browse her store.
Yeah, sorry, I can't think at the moment. But yeah, the wand of polymorph is the most valuable thing in their shop by a lot. It should be just
Right. I am down for other people to make that decision. I have very little to contribute in terms of decision.
I can
Ooh,
turn people into
I mean,
apes and stuff. Yeah.
let's do that. That seems good.
Just say turn people into vapes.
Apes.
Not
Jesus Christ.
Or
Yeah, but
flies.
only on the other side of the line marked around government buildings because you can't do it inside the line anymore. So, you know.
Not sure how many government buildings didn't have roofs and made it through the collapse. All right, what did you decide on, guys? And do you want to buy anything else from
The
this
wand
shop?
of vape is what we want.
I don't know what that is. I've got a wind fan.
No, thank
You
you.
might be able to make some water vapor.
No, just the wand of polymorph. Thank you.
Oh, that's a good one. That one. No, and it like sort of taps Gregory, and he carefully puts it down, and she toddles over, takes it out of not sure exactly what happens, but the barrier that's on that section of the display cabinet kind of goes. She takes it out and it's back up, and she carefully wraps it. And like you're watching this, and it's like 3 different layers of wrap and ribbon, and it's got the tissue paper, and then there's kind of a plain butcher's type paper, and then there's a really beautiful deep purple with a silver ribbon, and then she's done and hands it over to
I'm getting
whoever is
solid
taking
and
this.
Love Actually vibes, like with good potpourri and a second bag, and we'll take but a moment.
Oh, I'll see if I can find some.
Oh yeah, do it.
And she goes away, comes back, and then gives you a wink, Phocyonis, and hands over this this small blue vial that's like a mister for perfume, and it's got a little a spray on it, and just hands it to you. "Oh, I don't have any potpourri, love, but this'll do you right." And it's a perfume vial. It's one of those 5 gold perfume vials she has given you,
Beautiful.
in addition to the polymorph, which is now sold out of the shop. Oh, is there anything else I can help you with? It's
if you
getting a
put
bit
the
late,
choice
so I'm
here.
gonna close up soon if that's all right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Should probably tell her about the tunnel though, shouldn't we?
We should get
Yeah.
that strapping
Yeah,
man
so
let you guard the hole in case, because don't we want to come back and
yeah.
go through that way?
Yeah, so basically we're not sure we got all the knolls right. We found this tunnel that went a really long way, and by then we'd been down there a couple hours and we'd found your gem, so we thought we'd come back, but I show her the map we found. Basically this tunnel goes like all the way through. Oh, well, based off this map, we haven't gone all the way down yet. And from what we've seen, it definitely goes under the Starry Night Jewelers. But God damn it, Dante. It goes like a fair way all the way to the castle. So
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, those little fuckers. And it's just that same thing as what you were before. It just comes out of nowhere. It's this calm that doesn't seem to give any kind of extra emphasis to it. It's not that, fuck, or it just rolls out. And so she toddles back over from having handed the perfume to Fokionis, and just taps, now that she's walking, she taps Gregory on like his knee. Is, all right, Greg, I need you to go down and just seal up the hole a little bit and stay down there, and don't let any more knolls or anything else come through. All right, all right. And Gregory's just like tilted his head down. He's looking at this wizened old woman, and then with a slight nod, she steps back, and Gregory just goes, "Shwoop," and he's half the size in a blink. He's half the size of what he was before, and so he's around the same size as Fokionis. Climbs down the hole and disappears from your view. And about 30 seconds later, you guys can just hear some distant hammering, where it sounds like he's doing something to just temporarily seal that hole up, like she asked.
Cool.
We
Alright,
ain't going back that way.
let's go see more. No, we are.
Temporarily. He's doing what she asked, which was to just put a little bit of a protection there and stand guard over the hole. Sorry if I wasn't clear there.
All right, let's go see more. Show him this map and tell him what we know.
So you roll the map back up that it's like had sat over her food, and this is like took up the whole counter, the size of it, and just shake it off a little bit. And as you're heading out, she does that real grandmotherly thing of she's standing at the door and she's watching to make sure that you guys are okay, and you head out to the walkway and gives a little wave as you're disappearing from view for anyone who kind of looks over their shoulder to check in on you. And then as you're disappearing around, you see just closes the door, and you start seeing like lights going off in that shop, because it's now around about 8 p.m. In the evening that you guys have, from having everything that you did in the previous kind of couple of trips, and then the shopping, and then your back and forths, your long rest, and the different journeying you did, and the short rests, and which you had 2 of. Like, there's been a bit of exploration and adventure and recovery going on, or 3.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's been several hours that have kind of ticked away, and you find yourself like the streets are starting to get quiet, but then there's there's still buildings you can see that are lit up. As you head back to the safe room, you can hear like boisterous laughter and some really good smells coming out of the Griffin's Rest Inn that you walk past on the way back to the safe room. But without incident, there's still not that many people around. Like you guys, there's more than what there was, and there's some groups you can see that have, including some that have left their little skull icons open that have, clearly signifying that they've wanting to signify their names and their group and the fact that just the fact that they've killed other crawlers, which is the skull you guys are made aware signifies. But you don't see too many of them, and they're kind of off and they're doing their own thing and they disappear from view before you really get close enough to inspect them closely or even get a good look at who or what they are. And you ride back to the safe room without incident, where you can see you come in to find Mort sitting with Rathu on his lap, looking like he's having something to eat himself and is eating some of his own burgers. With Rathu every now and then being like handed down a mouthful himself. He looks up and go, "What the fuck happened to you lot? Weren't you just going shopping?"
Oh my God, Mort. You would not believe. There's a
Did you
whole
get into
story.
Yeah, you fought with was there another were-rat?
There was some gnolls.
Were-gnolls?
No, Shannon.
Gnolls were called Shannon?
Yeah.
Can somebody please start at the beginning?
Okay. We went down to the good shop, the Arcanum Wares, and saw the lovely old lady. But when we got there, she was saying that she had some problems with some things going missing and a hole in the basement. And she said, you fix it for me, I give something to you. So, and she had biscuits and she seemed nice. So we helped her out. And then she had this big fuck off thing that wouldn't move, covering. I had to push me out the way. We go down the hole. We go through the basement in the cave. There's gnolls. We fucking, old Jakey goes, spaghetti, blow shit up here. We go around the corner, spaghetti, blow shit up there. We kill something.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, spaghetti, blowing shit up. I almost got my balls taken off by a fucking bear trap in the water that some asshole left there. Then we go, there's more gnolls, and we fuck their shit up, and one of them's got this green thing and the thing, and we take it. And then they're trying to go through, and we go through, and then there's some shaft and some ambiguous jokes, and then we had to go, and then we stepped on a floor plate, and then the fucking walls blew, and then I got hurt. Oh my God. So we had a little sit down, and then we come back through, and then we go to the shaft on the left, because, the bench to the left, that's how they be. And we got to the end. There's no bell, but there was a cross on the floor underneath, and we figured out because, you get the map and the look and the thing, and it was like, oh, fuck, these gnolls is trying to get all the shops and get the shit from the tunnels underneath.
You just see Mort blinking and blinking, and halfway through this story, he previously unopened, strangely for Mort, bottle on the counter. He opens it and pours, and as you keep talking, he keeps pouring until what started off as like a nip has become almost a schooner. The second half of your story, he's just almost like playing a drinking game as you're as more disbelief and confusion is coming on. He's drinking more and more, and waiting for you. So, let me get this straight. Gnolls.
I was left.
Broke into Arcanum Wares, trashed it. There's a tunnel under the city. In the jewelers, and you're not sure where else it goes, and you've got some loot, and those fuckers were messing with Glimmer. Do I have that right?
Yeah, look, show him the map, man. Come on.
Yeah, show him the map.
Yes, the map.
All right, so you roll the map out for more. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
See, look, all the crosses and the tunnel goes underneath.
And you see Mort, not exactly sure how, but he's using every now and then he has a tablet, and especially when the dungeons are about to start or the entries are opening or closing, opens it up and projects up a much clearer image of what you were doing under in the tunnels of the world between, and it's very clear, you guys were spot on that the pathway that is being mapped is exactly what you noted. And he agrees with the assessment you've made so far, is that that there was a circle and then there was a hole blown in the wall of Arcanum. There was an X on the floorboards of Starry Night Jewelers. And he goes on to add a little bit of extra detail to you guys, and with those assumptions and insights you've already made, that he's confirming that essentially for each of the places, let me get the map back up for you. Each of the places that are marked with an X don't actually have a cellar. There's nothing underneath the shop, like what there was with Arcanum Wares, and each of the ones that have an O actually have some sort of underground either workshop or storage facility, or they have some part of their shop that exists below the ground as well, rather than just the ground level that you walk in on. Seeming to confirm like the insight you reached with your 21. What more adds to what you guys have here is that very carefully and with a bit of double speak indicates to you that it would be really beneficial that if you give him a bit of time, that you could probably all use a trip through the cleaning array and also the bathroom at after he's had it, if you don't mind leaving it with him after he's had a bit of time to study it, when you're all freshly rested with empty bladders, etc., you might be able to revisit examining this again.
Okay, but first, can I use that bottle to fill this bladder and then I'll go empty it?
Hands over what's left. Not a lot there, but you got maybe a third of the bottle of what smells like it's a really sweet honey type, but very strong and indecipherable, whatever the language is that is on the label. It's not something that you can read.
Cool.
So you guys are now, by the time you've gotten back there, you're hitting about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And he did also ask you if you had any loot or anything that you
We got these.
You found a hat.
did. So you're giving that to Mort to have a suss of?
Yeah.
Let me just go back to that. Oh, what was in there? So yeah, the Golem heart gem you've already given back. That was Gregory's heart. So what you've got there is, as I'm sure you've already established, but you now officially have it. It's a hat of wizardry. So it can act as a spellcasting focus for wizards, and you can also you'll be able to have a suss of it. But it's a wizarding item that also lets you try and cast a cantrip that you don't know. And you have some things that it can do that require a long rest to get the cooldown of it on. But it is just a battered, like it looks like that traditional, like stereotypical wizard's hat. It's got a buckle on the front of it. It's battered. It's not in the best of condition, but it is very clearly a pointy wizard's hat. And then the other item is what he identifies as a rope of climbing. So that rope that had the shimmering aura around it is a 60-foot length, and it actually has some hit points and stuff to it. And you can actually command that rope with a command word to move towards a destination. And I'll let you read. It's a fair bit of detail to it, but it is a rope that has some special properties to it, known as a rope of climbing. And you also had 600 gold and 50 silver that we established in the dungeon.
I think Jake should have that rope. That's cool.
Who gets the hat? Maybe you?
I don't know. It doesn't. It's pretty battered up. It doesn't suit my style.
Well, it's me.
I mean, if none of you guys want to wear it, I will wear the hat. It looks stylish while I do.
I think you should. What's with the parkour in the background there?
So the kitten is hiding
Yeah, I can see
from
that.
the older one just here.
Yeah.
And he, the fat cunt up the top there, keeps annihilating and biting her while she's in there hiding. So I don't know if you guys have been hearing it all night.
Yeah, I
Her
just really
fucking like,
running around in the background. Yeah.
because he's fucking attacking her. So I'm having to watch her and him and throw coasters at him to get him to stop it.
We've got a spray bottle strategically positioned around our house because ours are like 8 or 9 years old, and they're brother and sister, and they still blew. And it's the most effective thing we've found is just to have easy reach water spray bottles on the, you know, the fastest setting, which really gets them moving in winter. The other day it was like 4 o'clock, and they were having 4 degrees at about 6 o'clock when they're having a blue. And I'm like, had a spray gun in each hand. Knock it off.
See, I
knocked
don't
it off.
care. Like, if they're older, yeah, cool.
I've got
Like, you
visions
guys
of
can like
Star,
fight
in a
together. You're
full-length
big
black
enough.
leather jacket rolling out of the fucking bedroom door in slow mo, just like.
Oh,
But
that would
considering
be
she's
amazing.
like a third of his size,
Yeah.
I have to protect her at the moment because she can't really defend herself.
She'll sort herself out.
Oh yeah, I hope she
I'm
fucking
sure.
annihilates the little cunt.
On a D&D note, so did you decide who's getting what? B1 and B2 have kind of blearily lifted their heads up off the table. You previously couldn't see them. From the empty bottles that are on the table, they appear to have just been spending their time eating and drinking at Mort's and unsure of what else to do with no other instructions. They've just been here.
I mean, it's the pirate life for them.
They're not really coherent. They're not saying anything. I'm talking like the heads have just sort of acknowledged your existence, and then after a moment, it's back down on the the tabletop. All right, so the wizard hat, Zachary has that, and Jake has the rope of climbing.
Yeah, sure. The thing is, you can only attune to 3 things.
Oh,
You have too many magic items.
Well, if you guys are going to have a long rest here,
Yeah.
I'm sure
Later.
Zach over the next week can decide on what he would like to do, and
Oh yeah.
feel free to do any gear movement if you want to sort out any attunement during the long rest.
Yep.
But
sounds
is
good.
there? I'm assuming that you are heading to a long rest in the safe room,
Yeah.
especially with your
Yep.
upgrades into, you've all got your own private bedrooms that
Mhm.
we'll
And
get to very,
yeah,
very
I go
shortly.
into the cleaning room, clean my gloves,
Yes,
and
your gloves. Never mind the copious amounts of blood on your whole body, just your gloves.
Well, as you walk in there, like intending to clean your gloves, the array just you feel it bombarding you from all directions, not viciously, but everything, including the gloves you've taken off your hands in readiness to clean, unsure of how it works, Zachary. Everything is cleaned on your person.
jeez.
Come out feeling tickety boo and refreshed, and the rest of you, like, it's a public cleaning array, so you all see Zachary's, briefly naked hands and then gloves back on, but you just see the dirt and grime just disappear off him. And I think you guys, I'd have to check my notes, but I think you got the upgrades with the
Yes.
personal cleaning array as well in your
Yeah,
living spaces, but you do have the public one available.
that
So
was cool. Need one of these at my house. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, go to the bathroom.
Yep,
As you
of
do.
course you do. What you notice is that there's now a massive foyer. So the entryway is a little bit different to what it was before. It's still opaque, but it doesn't have, it just has like various languages rotating through of toilet, bathroom, bagnio, etc., as opposed to little icons it had. And when you get in there, you can see that there is now an individual entrance with a little icon for each of your races. So there's a raccoon and a half orc and a changeling and a human. And so you each have your own entryway into a toilet now, and there is a foyer area that could easily accommodate all of you and at least another 2 or 3 people into that space that that it was strongly suggested that you have, that is still not being, that won't be monitored by the system in any way. And Zachary heads off into his own bathroom. That no extra text is on the wall at this stage, apart from what you notice that the "bring her home" has been removed, and those references to Ivy have been taken off the whiteboard, but the rest still remains.
No, who's Ivy?
Wow.
Too soon. All right. Come
Zachary
out.
says in the privacy of his own bathroom. Let's see, head out and Mort's got those items identified. He's intently looking over the map you've given him, and he is studying it carefully and like going over it. And he's got all kinds of different magnifying glasses and things that he appears to be in for a long haul with, seeing what he can garner from this fresh thing that you brought him.
Is it too soon to ask Mort a question regarding said map?
I mean, you can ask him.
Mort, I wondered, why does it start in the castle, bro?
I have my suspicions and I have my hopes. I'll know more in the morning.
You hope you have suspicions, or you have suspicious hope?
Yes.
How much did you drink?
I mean, only what you gave me. Plus these other bottles.
Heads that way.
and this infinite jug as well.
Oh, that's right. I wondered why it was not
And you've got your wineskin as well. You're refilling wineskin. That's always half full. All right. I know you guys are heading for a long rest. So is there anyone else who's doing anything else?
I would like to chill with Ward and Manta. That's right, I remember their names.
Well done. Yes. That's exact. So you're bringing going over to the drinks. Are you taking any more to the table, waking them up?
How hunched over are they at the moment?
At the moment, both of them are essentially in that kind of drunken asleep, both hands on the arms on the table and using your arms as a pillow, with a number of empty bottles and half-eaten hamburgers on the table.
I'd like to push both of their heads backwards and attempt to lay on their laps. Just right across, because surely they're comfy.
But there's some gurgles and burbles, and you're quite a lithe character to begin with. So they kind of half rock back, and you are easily able to fold yourself on your side across both laps and find something to pad up, to rest your head on as a pillow on the curved bench seats that they're in. And as you nestle in, both of their heads just sort of fold back onto the
It's like a
table where,
blanket.
yep, you are now wrapped up in a warden manta, surrounded by
I'm
their
ready for my
warmth.
long rest now.
Too easy. So Jake, settle in for the long rest. The rest of you, are you long resting now? Everyone's done with. Yep. So as you head in, the rest of you into your instanced rooms, you are taken to your, like the bathroom from home, you're taken into your bedroom. So I'll just, where we'll finish is if you can just very quickly, I'll start with Fokionis. Just give us an idea of a description of what that bedroom is, whether it was individual or shared with a loved one or partner or whomever or pet. If you can just give us a quick idea of that bedroom and what it looks like, so that we know.
Is lots of marble. It looks like it's polished floors, very nice, bit of rug, maybe some pillars, large bed, oversized, fox style, maybe some drapes, because I like a bit of luxury, a bit of thread count, lots of pillows, maybe a bit of a fan, and yeah.
And some more pillows.
More pillows. Never have too many.
And don't forget the Arnie flexing poster over there.
Oh, just mirrors. I don't need poster because look at me.
All right.
Mirrors everywhere.
Zachary, the room you shared with your wife. Bedroom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looks pretty normal. It really just a double bed and dresses and
Posters of
for
Gandalf
two people.
And fucking
Huh?
McGonagall on the wall. The young
Yeah,
McGonagall.
no, yeah, it looks pretty
The
normal
Nimbus
actually.
1000.
It's got a large
Large
like
panel.
wardrobe with lots of cloaks in it. Yeah, not too much to say about it. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That simple room that you shared, collapsing into bed. Alia, I can either ask Lily to step in as just with the Ivy room, which I know she wrote the description of, or seeing as how Ivy has gone, if you would like to decide where Alia is actually walking in to sleep as her space. If you can just let me know that, whether you want the Ivy room description from Lily or whether Alia would like to just have her own
Well, technically,
space.
as a raccoon, I do not know the names of anything. Therefore, Lily will explain the room because it's just where I eat and sleep.
I have a pre-written description somewhere.
I remember the broad strokes of it if you want me to just do that for now, Lily, but if you want to look it up, you can.
I'm pretty sure I've got a fairly good idea of what it was.
Okay.
It would be a smaller room, a double bed, very, very plush pillows, thick quilt even during the warmer months, a very, very fluffy carpet, one of those ones that if you drop something in, you'll never find that thing again. A large, comfy gaming chair, a big setup with a total of 4 monitors because Ivy was addicted to many games. Instead of a normal fluorescent white colored light, you would have a dimly lit kind of purple tinged light, as it was better for both Alia and the late nights that Ivy spent gaming. There is a pet bed that has never been touched in one of the corners. And a bundle of scarves and other random materials at the end of the bed, which has been touched quite a lot. There are a few posters around, mostly of certain game characters. One or two, though, that have been crudely drawn by friends. It looks lived in.
All right, thank you. So as each of you enter into that space, you've also got your own private bathroom entrances and a cleaning facility as well, if I remember correctly. So as you head off into that long rest with whatever is running through your minds as you head into slumber of everything that you've been through in such a short period of time, before next week, if you guys can all manage your level up to level 6, you actually hit the milestone with the gem recovery and the goggles to Mish. They were your milestone items. So if you can manage your long rest, sort yourselves out to be level 6 when we get together and you awaken next Monday.
Boom.
Good thing is I'm home tomorrow, so I can do that.
Nice. And Racer, don't forget, you've got spells.
Yeah.
Zachary and Egg have tried to get you to do the last few levels. And please let me know when you've done your level ups just so I can update the tokens as well. Some point between next Monday, that would be great.
Okay.
Well
Not many
done.
tokens when you're leveling up a barbarian. More HP? Sure. More rage? Definitely.
Do I want to rage or do I want to really rage?
What do you think of your choice? It's like, you get mindless rage. Yay.
That seems appropriate. I will say that it was very on brand for Fokionis to ask if he could just break his way through a wall because he knew that there was somewhere on the other sides there was something. Like, didn't know whether it was high, low. He was just trying to go into bedrock. I was like, I was ready with some interesting
You really wanted me to
responses.
like
Depending on
try
what you
and run
rolled.
through the wall, didn't you?
I really wanted you to roll low.
If I wasn't
I
half
really
off
did.
already, I might have tried.
There may have been a Kool-Aid Man attempt if the roll was really low.
Oh, I've got that gift ready too.
Well, let's hope it gets used in the future. I'm sure
Uh,
Fokionis, that's a reasonable possibility.
I can't really understand the underwhelming reaction to my magnificent bloody like PowerPoint work with this excellent album cover. Like,
I
if I-
laughed at it during, and I
We
look
need
forward
to
to seeing
have
it.
it
At the
together
moment, it's
with-
like this big on the screen,
know,
but I can
I
definitely
know.
see eggs being photoshopped
I'll
into
post
it.
it in Discord.
More
I'll
shafts than
I
you
look forward to
can
looking at
handle.
it.
That's the legit title on the cover as well.
I think we just found the name of the episode. More
Yeah.
shafts than you can handle. I think that's our video title.
Egg.
On that note, for you guys in Twitch, peace out. Love yous all. Thanks for the hang. Check out the VOD on YouTube for the rest of this and anything that you missed, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, Egg.
Damn it.
It's not my fault. You started this. All I said was mine shaft.
Oh, all right, let's go and have a look at the shaft. Oh my god, how much shit did you guys put in the Discord?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
I went
there's-
meme happy.
Yes.
Oh, I'm in the wrong bloody.
All right, I'm just catching up on everything now. I just saw Lily's one of the Jake trying to do thieves can't communicate with you guys. The rest of you just
That was funny.
acting completely clueless. That's gold. You haven't put the shaft one in there yet, though.
I'm doing it now.
All right, I look forward to seeing it in high res very soon.
Not about high res. It's.
I
fun.
thought the last meme I
Medium res?
put in there was very fitting for the way tonight went.
Yeah, I should, be prepared for weird shit, but how fixated you guys got on the fucking support beams? How long is this going to go on for?
This episode is just fucking outrageous, but in a good way. There you go. It's in the clips and memes.
Oh. That actually really suits you, Egg.
If
You could do that dress up.
If you don't rock up with a black
Yeah.
polo and a red jacket next week, I'm very disappointed.
Oh,
Exquisite.
I have
Testicle
seen the testicle
festival.
festival one. That's it's like a hunting thing. It's like moose testicles or elk testicles.
No, it's a
It's a
testicle
legit-
tasting.
Yeah. I have seen versions of that one before and Googled it, which is a mistake. But it's a rabbit hole. But yeah, it's a legit real thing. That's a
Oh god.
This is the world we live in. This is not a drill, not a joke. All right, well, you're all
I need
back
to
at
put the
Maud's.
channel for Egg.
Your Drake is still
Right.
sitting down in the dungeon.
I'm pretty sure with a long rest he disappeared. I think.
I'll have a look. I'm still a bit unclear on how that summoning and unsummoning works because it doesn't make it clear about the unsummoning. So I'll have a look.
Yeah,
Maybe the long
Only
rest
if it kind of dies, I think.
Yeah, it's your pet now. It's like
Once
your
you summon the
companion.
Drake, you
keep it
can't
with
do
you.
so again until you finish a long rest or expend a spell slot.
Yeah, so it's still there, but if you
Oh,
resummon
yeah.
it'll come back with full health. That's the
Yeah.
resummoning part. Like if it dies or gets really low on health, you can resummon it and it's back at full health.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like part of your class. It's like around you all the time now. You
Okay.
can't get rid of it.
That's good for me to know.
Like trinket. Yeah.
Yep. And as far as I'm aware, unless you told it to follow you out, it's still down in the dungeon. It's just
Sweet.
chilling where you left it.
It's alright. It's got a friend down there anyway, so
It's got plenty to eat. It's got a
Yeah.
friend.
yeah,
What's its
that
friend?
that thing that got sent down there.
Oh, gotcha. Gregory the Golem on there.
Gregory.
You left it at the killing floor, and yep. All right, I get you. All right. Well, on that note, it's 10 past
I'm
midnight
going
up
to
here.
bed.
Wow, that was good fun. You crazy
Yeah.
fuckers. You never fail to disappoint or surprise. Doesn't matter how much. I'm glad I keep my prep just loose and flexible because
Is your channel like on 18 plus on DD nights? Just a question.
Probably should be.
Yeah, right.
No, but we might start doing that because I don't want to censor. I don't want to censor the fun.
I'm just saying. The first 30 minutes are shaft-based jokes.
I do put in the YouTube videos. No, this is not made for children, so it's very clear when the
Not
VODs
for
go up that
children.
Yeah,
it's
what-
definitely for adults.
What do you mean? I was talking about mine shafts. What are you guys talking about?
You
Yeah.
don't mind just basically that little fucking cunt. Coming in hot.
It's even better.
Like, we only did 2. I mean that's only an R. No, 3 now. That's only an R rating, isn't it?
You seen Guardians 3 yet?
No, not yet.
Mm.
It's really hard to get to because we both like watching them, and we don't have any family out here, so it gets tricky with Ivy. So we won't watch it till it comes to Disney. We're planning on watching the Ant-Man Wasp Quantumania
Yeah, I
one
saw that just came
now
out.
that it's
I
just
haven't
hit.
seen that yet.
So we'll probably catch up with that one on the weekend.
Do I have to watch? Is it the Celestials, whatever it is? Do I have to watch that before I watch Ant-Man, or does it not matter? Because I've seen all of Loki, so it's fine.
Eternal.
Eternals, yeah, that's the one.
Ah, that
You-
wasn't bad. I like that.
You don't have to. I haven't seen Ant-Man and Wasp, so I'm not sure if it connects to the Eternals, but I didn't see
don't
anything in
have
that
to.
movie that had a massive connection. But it's like any Marvel movie; it might have a connection 3 movies down in
Right, so I should just Google
this
the
phase. You're better off. It's a good. It's a decent watch. It's not a. It's not a bad film.
You don't need to watch Eternals for Ant-Man.
It's
Someone
not
that's seen
like
both.
It's not like the latest Thor movie, which was hard. Love and Thunder was a difficult watch.
That was funny to me. I was just laughing throughout it. 'Cause it was so dumb.
Ragnarok, I laughed throughout it. That one, it just seemed that I'm being very careful not to give any spoilers. I felt like they were trying too hard to do funny.
So you found where
And-
too much Taika Waititi is enough.
For
As
that
opposed to-
particular film, yeah, because I generally like most of the stuff he does, but that one was just that was definitely not Inglourious Basterds level. It was it was not a it wasn't the best one. The Ragnarok was so much better, in my opinion. But I know it's got an audience. I know people like it. Racer just said she's keen on it. It was not my Marvel or Thor cup of tea. I will take it over super serious angry Thor though, because that just doesn't work all the time.
All right, with that, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Yeah, too
Good
easy. See you
night.
next week when
Thanks
you're level
for the
6.
game.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you all.
Bye.
See you.